the musician strummed his guitar on a sunny beach last summer. It was one of those perfect moments, a memory that stays with you forever. My family and I had decided to take a break from our busy lives and go on a camping trip to Angkor Wat in Cambodia. We arrived at the temple complex, marveling at its grandeur and the sense of ancient mystery that surrounded it. The air was thick with history, and we were excited to explore the ruins. We set up our camp near the edge of the temple grounds, just as the sun was setting. The sky turned a deep orange, casting long shadows over the stone structures. It was a surreal experience, and we felt a sense of adventure. That night, as we sat around the campfire, we shared stories and laughter, unaware of the strange events that were about to unfold. The next morning, we woke up to an eerie silence. The sun had not risen, and the world was shrouded in a perpetual twilight. We checked our watches and phones, but they all showed different times. Panic set in as we realized that something was terribly wrong. Days turned into weeks, and the sun never returned. We were stuck in an endless night, with no way of knowing how much time had passed. Our supplies began to dwindle, and the constant darkness took a toll on our sanity. We tried to explore the temple complex to find answers, but it seemed to stretch endlessly, like a labyrinth. Strange symbols and carvings glowed faintly on the walls, hinting at an ancient power that we couldn't comprehend. The air grew colder, and an unsettling feeling crept over us. One night, as we huddled together in our tent, we heard strange noises outside. It started as a low hum, growing louder and more menacing. We peeked out to see shadowy figures moving through the ruins. They were unlike anything we had ever seen, with elongated limbs and glowing eyes. They seemed to be drawn to a source of energy hidden within the temple. We tried to stay hidden, but the creatures grew bolder each night. They would come closer to our camp, their eyes reflecting an unnatural light. We realized they were attracted to our fear. It became a game of survival, trying to remain calm while desperately searching for a way out of this nightmare. We found old manuscripts in the temple that hinted at a ritual to banish the darkness, but the instructions were cryptic. Desperation led us to attempt the ritual. We gathered the necessary items, including strange herbs and artifacts we found hidden in the temple. The ritual required us to navigate the ruins and place the items at specific points. Each step of the way, we felt the presence of the creatures watching us, their whispers echoing through the halls. It was as if the temple itself was alive, guiding us but also testing our resolve. As we completed the ritual, the air grew still. We heard a low rumble, and the ground shook beneath us. The creatures appeared, drawn to the energy we had unleashed. We stood our ground, chanting the final incantation. A blinding light filled the temple, and the creatures shrieked in pain before vanishing into the darkness. The light faded, and for a moment, we thought we had succeeded. But the sun did not return. The perpetual twilight remained, and the temple seemed to mock us with its silence. We were exhausted, both physically and mentally. We decided to leave the temple and seek help, hoping that someone, somewhere, could explain what had happened. As we made our way back to the campsite, we noticed the creatures were gone, but the feeling of unease lingered. When we finally reached civilization, we found that the rest of the world was still in chaos. The endless night had spread, affecting people far beyond the temple grounds. Scientists and researchers were baffled, unable to explain the phenomenon. We shared our story, but many were skeptical. The media dubbed it the Endless Night, and it became a global mystery. Months passed, and life continued in a state of uneasy adaptation. People learned to live with the darkness, but fear was ever present. Then, strange letters started arriving at our doorstep. They were written in a language we didn't understand, but the symbols matched those in the temple. It was as if the temple was still reaching out to us, reminding us that our ordeal was far from over. The postman delivered a stack of letters to the rain-soaked mailbox earlier today. Each letter felt like a piece of a puzzle we were meant to solve. As I stared at the rain-soaked envelopes, I felt a chill run down my spine. The creatures might have been banished, but the darkness still had a hold on our world. Our story was just one chapter in an unfolding nightmare that seemed destined to continue.